My name is Diane Prince, and I made $746,000 with Maria's courses.
Woo. All right. Well, I'm excited to be here with you. Thank you so much, Diane. We're going to break down everything that you did and all the success you're seeing, but my lawyers are making me read a disclaimer first, so I'm going to do that. Results are not typical and depend on individual effort. These students that we're going to be sharing took consistent action, and their outcomes are not guaranteed for everyone. So in other words, you got to put the work in. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to be sitting down and just talking a little bit about what you've done. I think a lot of people, kind of see my videos or they'll look at my content online and they're curious to know what it's like to actually take Maria Wendt courses. Like Maria Wendt Reviews is like the top search after my name. It's Maria Wendt Reviews. So I thought it'd be really fun to get some of our actual students on here and talk a little bit about what it's like.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Thanks for being here. I would love for you to talk a little bit about kind of where you were before you found me. Just like paint that before, and then we'll talk about the after.
Yeah. So I have sort of the opposite of imposter syndrome, where I think I know everything. so I have been successful in business in the past, and I really wanted to start a digital business, but I was so stuck as far as marketing goes. I'm successful at sales, and I would do like email campaigns and outreach, and things were going okay. I got clients, but I really wanted to hit that stride of social media. And so I don't remember how I came across you. I just did. And I found you very approachable. And so that's how it started.
What I love about you, Diane, is that you do something different than a lot of my students do. You've seen your success from LinkedIn. And a lot of my students who, they're on Instagram, they're on YouTube, and they're doing well. But every so often I'll have someone ask me like, well, Maria, will your courses work for me? I'm only on LinkedIn. So I'd love to talk a little bit about like, what was that experience taking some of my courses because I told you, like, I'm not on LinkedIn. I think my last post on LinkedIn was when I was like literally maybe 18 or 19, like a very long time ago when I was in college.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. And I was so embarrassed when you told me that you saw it. I was like, oh my God, I don't even know what it was, but it was not current. But I want to know, what was that like for you to take what I was teaching, marketing strategies and whatnot on Instagram, and was it hard for you to apply it to LinkedIn? Like, talk a little bit about what that was like for you.
No, it was pretty easy actually to apply it to LinkedIn. And before I had started entering your world, I had a hard time figuring out what I was going to post about. And I would go to bed at night thinking, oh, I should have posted today. And and then I'd be like, okay, I'm going to post every day. And then I wouldn't. And so finally I did find a stride, and I did start posting every day. And that's when I started getting leads coming in every single day.
Do you remember what courses you took to get that?
So I started following you, I think before you were pregnant.
Oh, wow. Okay. So when I was still married.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, by the way, I'm divorced,
Okay.
single mom.
Yeah.
So, and so I was kind of like, well, with my ego, I was like, well, what am I going to learn from someone so much,
so much younger, like very different place of life. Yeah.
Yes, I need to learn from her. So I know I did the freebie course, the creating an irresistible freebie or something like that. That was great. And I never could get my arms around creating a lead magnet or anything like that before. So that really helped. What are the other?
Get your clients to send you more clients.
Oh yeah, that was how to get your clients to send you more clients. I don't even remember. I did a few, and I actually looked yesterday back at Kajabi, and I'm like, I got to do some of these other classes. Like,
do you have pages? Some of my students, especially the more successful ones that have taken a lot of my courses, they'll be like, Maria, I have like 12 pages of courses. Like I have not just like 12 courses, I have 12 pages of courses. Yeah. And I was wondering, like, is it similar for you?
Well, yeah. And at one point there was one, how to sell money or how to sell courses or how to sell from your inbox, I think.
Yes.
And I even printed it out. I have a little notebook. And,
oh my gosh.
And then another thing I got from you is a sales script. Even though I've been doing sales forever, your sales script was really good. And so a lot, I mean, there's a few different things that I just took and applied to my business.
And I would love to know a little bit about what you think, like, because again, there is a lot. I think people would be very curious to know, right? You've made almost $1 million from what I've taught. Is there anything in particular that I've shared that landed with you, or is it just a lot of little things all adding up? I'm kind of curious because I think people are going to want to know, like, what was the thing that got you to almost $1 million?
Well, what I would say is, for me, it was applying things that I am good at and things I know, taking that, applying the things that you teach to me. So I guess I would say I think entrepreneurship is creative and it's all about applying. So I would tell people, take what you need at that time, take that course and do it, apply it. So I'm just like, I'm in your Facebook group. I think I only did the first session where you said do one thing, the 1, 1, and 1. And I went in and just applied it,
And we talked about this over Facebook Messenger, right? Like we're all about going in and like getting that golden nugget out and actually implementing it. I think we were talking about that over 100%. Messenger. Yeah. I whenever I invest, because I've invested in lots of courses and lots of events and lots of, as one does when we're doing it for as long as we have. And I'm always looking for like that one little thing that I can take away and go home and implement. And it sounds like you did something very similar.
Exactly. Because, it's all about the execution.
So one of the things we talked about in preparation for this interview was how you weren't really in the mood to be investing thousands and thousands of dollars in a business coach. And you found, because my courses are like, $300 or less, you found that very appealing. I like to know a little bit more about that because I think sometimes people think, oh, it's inexpensive, it's cheap. Is that something you were worried about before you invested? Or talk to me a little bit about like the price point and why that worked for you and just that story.
I think because it was in my budget, $99 or whatever it was. I guess it's $24 now. Yeah. But I don't know. I think I just really liked your content. So maybe I was a little skeptical. And then I thought, well, it's only, it's less than $100. What, let me just try it. It's not, so that was I was probably a little skeptical. And then I'm like, let me just try it.
And I think a lot of people, Rose and I, my sister who does my marketing, we talk about this a lot where, you're looking to create with low ticket, which is what we do. Obviously, it's all like, a couple $100s or less. You're looking to create that impulse buy where you're like, well, what do I have to lose? And you don't get that with a high ticket thing where people have to really like, if I'm investing $10,000, $20,000, like I really need to think about it. But I think what we've been able to do well in our company is create so many repeat customers because they're not really expecting much for a little bit of a, couple $100s. They're not expecting much. And then what we try to do is make every product better than the last one. So every product is better than the one before it. And I think over time, our products have gotten so good because we have that commitment. And so it creates this, people don't have very high expectations and then we quickly surpass them. And I think that helps a lot.
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, I went back into the vault last night and I was like, okay, I need to take this class, this class, this class. There's so many still on there that I haven't taken. So I definitely identified that.
Well, you've been doing this for a really long time. And I would be very curious to know, what advice you would have, like what you would give to people who are just getting started or haven't maybe even started yet. You mentioned you sold a company for $28 million. It was very successful. You've been doing this for a long time. And I would love to share that wisdom with my audience. So I'd love if you could share like what you've learned over the years and advice that you would give to someone who's just getting started.
Yeah. So my first business was a temp agency.
Okay.
And there, do you know the Dummies books? Do you
remember
those?
The yellow ones, and black ones. Yeah. My dad used to have those.
See, that was our YouTube.
Yeah.
And all that existed when I started my first business was that I bought a How to Start a Temp Agency for Dummies. From that book in 6 years, built it to an 8-figure business and sold it for $28 million. So I would say today, there's so much advice out there. There's so many coaches. And I would say, find one like you, just do it, stick with it. And it doesn't mean because it's not as expensive. I mean, I did do one expensive, like very high ticket coach. Yours is so much more value from like $99 that I spent, which now I want, I want $75 back.
Yeah. I think Dan, I think what you got was a holiday bundle. The only thing I've ever sold for $99 bundle like that was a holiday bundle.
I'm not mad.
But you know what? I can just Venmo you $75 and call it a day.
It's all good. I'm not mad. This makes up for it. Totally makes up for it. But yeah, I mean, I spent $12,000 on another coaching package, and I've gotten more from your stuff.
And I hear that all the time. It's like, I wish I had found you sooner, Maria. Like, your courses changed my life. And what that does is it just makes me so motivated. I'm like, I gotta reach more people and I gotta do it faster, because we really do believe that one of the reasons we've been able to scale up to an 8-figure business with low ticket, which is very rarely done in our space, it's because we tapped into a need that that was missing, right? There was people in my space when I did this, they would work with, if you're making $10,000 or more, then we'll work with you. And that's because they were selling high ticket. And that was the thing for such a long time, was you would do a sales call and then convert them into a high ticket program. And that was the business model everybody was following. And people didn't believe that you could get 7 figures at low ticket when I made that pivot, let alone 8 figures. And so I think it's really changing. And I think, I was thinking with the story that you shared, even with that, you bought one book for, what was it, like $20, if that, probably not. And you built a multi-million-dollar business from essentially what was a low ticket product. And as I've been, right? Like it was a low ticket product and it totally changed your life. And so I think that really when I was talking about this in a YouTube video, like what we're doing in this corner of the world is really showing people that you can make very valuable products that get really good results and not have to charge an arm and a leg. And actually there's so much scalability in a business model like that. Yes. So I really appreciate you sharing that. I think it really is, people think, oh, if I have to have thousands and thousands of dollars to see significant success, but you're about to hit 7 figures in your business. And it's from small products. So I think that's great.
And you have to have recurring revenue like you do. That's important. And then also I would say, so I got to the point where, so I have a team. So, and that's kind of, that's what I do now. Actually, I supply people with virtual assistants.
Okay.
So and it led to that because we started implementing some of your stuff. Then we're getting, and when I say we, then it was me. I started getting leads every single day from LinkedIn. So then I built a team, and then that evolved into, we need to offer this team. So I would say also, when you're executing it sometimes, things like for me, CM that was a little bit complicated. So, and also just calculate how valuable your time is. And delegate.
I
delegate
agree.
those things to other people.
I think that's one of the things we talk about is I think people wait a long time, and I'm sure you would agree with me, they wait way too long to bring on their first team member. But I think there's a lot of fear around that, like fear to invest or fear. Like I remember my first VA that I brought on, she was like I think it was 4 hours a week. And it was like $25 an hour. So I was paying her like $100 a week, $400 a month. And my immediate goal was the new time that she's freeing me up, I'm going to be on sales calls. Because I used to be taking this was back when I was doing high ticket stuff. I was taking like 100 sales calls a month. And so I knew that if I brought her on, I was smart about what I was replacing my time with, I could immediately make that money back and so much more, like 10x the money back. Right. And I'm sure you teach that and explain that every single day to your people as well. Yeah,
it's true. And so it's a combination of making sure that you're doing your high value, your high value participation and tasks, or the things that are in your zone of genius. And then also you can have people who are like, my team now does the sales for me. So they do, they get the leads in, they reply, they do my inbox, they do my emails. So make sure that, see it as an investment, like you said. It's an investment, not a cost. See it as an investment and make sure that you're going to get the ROI.
I think that's great. And otherwise, all you're doing is adding $400 a month or whatever, whatever it is probably more, because I started so small. But all you're just doing is adding that to your payroll and not getting your return on investment. So as long as you're replacing what they're doing for you with income generating activities, you'll be fine. I think people wait a long time.
I would also say small ticket is all relative, because small ticket, like I'm business to business. Small ticket is a lot higher than $100.
That's true.
So look at the things that you know and the things that you're good at. And I think you talk about this too. The things that you know and that you're good at, and then apply the things that you learn from your courses. And they don't have to do exactly what Maria Wendt does.
I would agree. I say the order of priority, and I teach this to all my students, is like, number one, you have to be aligned with it. You have to feel in your gut that what I'm teaching and what I'm explaining is the right fit for you. Because if I had listened to everything my mentor taught me, I would not have a low ticket business at all. I would have had a high ticket business because for him, that's what worked and was great. I'm a single mom of a 3-year-old. And at the time I was a single mom to a 4-month-old. That was not the sphere of life I was in at all. And so it was so important for me. And I took so much from that mentor. And I truly believe he's the man that made me a millionaire. That's what I call him. But you have to find what the mentor is teaching you that you can then take and apply in a business that works for you. Because what are you going to do? Otherwise, you're just going to build a business that you hate. And we founders talk about this all the time. And so I tell my students, if something I ever say doesn't sit right with you, disregard it. But find the things that I say that do apply to you. And you're proof of that. You find 1 or 2 things that work that 1 or 2 golden nugget, and then you take it and run with it, and you're doing really well from that. So I love that you brought that up, because sometimes I'll be in my inner circle, and that's where I answer like questions like individually to that student. And every so often I'll be like, well, how does that feel? And they're like, it doesn't quite feel right. And I'm like, good, stop. And let's talk that through, because I want you to have a strategy or marketing strategy or whatever it might be that actually feels aligned to you, because otherwise, what are we doing here? I love that you brought that up. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing everything with me. I want to know, last thing, what would you say to someone who's thinking about grabbing some of my courses and just investing in the Maria world, but they're kind of on the fence? What would you say to them?
Well, I would say just do it. just do it, and then start with one thing. Start with one thing that you learned from Maria, and apply it to what you know, and just and go execute. Go execute.
Amen.
I'll just I go execute, and I look at the Facebook group once, and then I'll like execute, and then I'll post, hey, here's a screenshot of my
here's my almost $1 million of revenue. This is what I love, though. I think that's so good. Thank you so much for being here, Dan. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Maria.
Thank you so much.